Evan Mobley probably won't be as efficient from the floor this year, and that's completely okay because the Cavs, they don't need Evan Mobley to shoot 60% this season. They don't need to win 64 games in the regular season this year. But what they do need is for Evan Mobley to operate and play offense like he is the guy, because him being the guy is what's going to take them to the NBA Finals and maybe even win them a championship in the long run. And judging from this first game against the Knicks, Mobley seems to understand that because he came out in the season opener guns blazing. I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen this dude unload the clip like he was in the first half, because it might not seem that crazy. It was only 18 shots in 36 minutes on the night, but it was how quickly Mobley was rising up for these jumpers and how deliberately he was looking for his own shot every time he touched the ball that really stood out to me. The Cavs kind of got away from him in the third and fourth quarter, especially once Mitchell started scoring in bunches. But in that first half, Mobley was shooting the ball basically every time he touched it, right? He finished 13 of his 18 shot attempts came in that first half. He finished the game with 8 3-point attempts. That's something that he's only done twice in his career up to this point. So I'm not saying that, Mobley just needs to forget that the entire world is around him and become a selfish player or anything like that, but he clearly understands that the next step for him is going to be becoming a high volume scorer. And I thought we saw some mixed results in this first game with him trying to do that. Sometimes he looked awesome pulling up for three, working his way into the paint, dropping in for those mid-range followaways. Then other times I thought he was pressing the issue. There was a couple pull-up threes in the fourth quarter that were a bit questionable. This one that he took over Brunson was a situation where I'd prefer that as a 7-footer, you just attack the basket. But it was the confidence that he showed to take that jumper that was still worth noting. And the important thing here is that Mobley is trying to figure it out. He's experimenting. He's hunting for his shots. The Cavs, they have all season to figure out the proper balance for Evan Mobley, right? Mobley gets to spend this entire time learning where he can dominate, what mix of inside and outside scoring that he's going to be best at. And that's what trial and error is all about, right? This is the only way for him to truly get better and to reach his full potential, is just to try things and have the freedom to fail, have the freedom to go 8 for 18 in a game. It's time to find out how much Mobley is truly capable of in terms of scoring, and this first game was the right approach. Now, I want to break down a few individual plays just to highlight what I'm talking about. Right here is the first bucket of the season from Mobley. He actually took the first 3 shots from the same exact spot on the floor, just getting to his spot and rising up for that mid-range jumper. This is a shot that I talked about in my most recent Mobley video, but if he can make this a go-to shot for himself, then that would be an awesome tool to have, because at 7 feet, he's going to be able to get that whenever he wants. Last season, Mobley attempted just 34 total mid-range shots. Last night, he took 6 of them. So the efficiency wasn't great. He shot 2 of 6, but, overall, I mean, that's just 1 shot off of shooting 50%. So it's really not a big deal. And again, this would be a bread and butter shot that Mobley could get at any point in the game if he's able to do it efficiently. So I like the confidence, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on this specific shot as the season goes on. Now, one thing that I don't want to happen is for Mobley to get too jump shot happy. He's still an elite rim finisher, so you want him attacking the basket as much as possible. But I mentioned this play earlier with under 2 minutes to play, and it's a 5-point game. I'd really like to see Mobley attack Brunson right here and get into the paint, right? He has the size advantage. There's no one back to help. I would have really loved to see Mobley be aggressive and get into the paint. Instead, he takes a pretty quick 3 in transition. And listen, if he hits this, then it's a 2-point game and we're all going crazy and it's a big hero moment. So I'm not crushing him for taking the shot. I love that we're even having this discussion, because seriously, whenever we ever questioned Mobley for taking a shot, like whenever we ever said that Mobley was playing hero ball or getting a little too confident in his jumper, that's not something that we've seen before. It hasn't really happened. And so this brings me back to what I'm talking about. It's a process. There's going to be growing pains. There's some trial and error that we're going to see along the way. But if we check out this play from earlier in the first half, we're going to see why showing no hesitation to shoot the 3-pointer is going to pay off for Mobley. Because right here, we see that Yabusele, he's going to jump out and try and stop Mobley from getting another 3-point shot, because he's already made a few at this point in the game. And to be fair, this is a really bad closeout. Mobley probably won't always be gifted a driving lane like this, but he's actually able to use some gravity and beat someone off the dribble for an end one at the rim. And again, that's why it's important for Mobley to be shooting these threes, because it's going to lead to opportunities like this. And then I have one last clip here. This is just such an easy way for Mobley to score in bunches. He has a wing on him, so we're going to see him flash to the middle, catch the ball, rise into that jumper, all in one motion. This quick hitting action, if he's just firing over his shoulder like this every time he gets a favorable matchup, then then you might as well just add a few more easy points to his box score every night, because this is the approach that you want to see Mobley take. This is the way that you want him to play, like he's the guy, because that's how you become the guy. The results, they're going to get better as we go along, right? But the approach has to stay the same. He has to continue being aggressive, because that's what's going to get this team to the next level. That's all I have for this one. I'll be doing film breakdowns all season long, so make sure you drop a like and hit the subscribe button. Those things really help my channel, and I appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and as always, go Cavs.